friends, we're back. We're Black and Curious. I'm Kendrin.
What up, what up? It is Deja. How
Hello.
y'all doing?
You've never been here before. Welcome. We do a cross section of pop culture in real life. Today, we are coming to you with a reality TV episode. We have never done this show, but you guys said you watch it when I polled the community. So we're here.
Baby.
Love and Marriage Detroit. Overall thoughts. Have you any thoughts? I think we're about 4 or 5 episodes into the season. Um, I know you partially watched last season, but you hated it.
I watched last season, but like you
Okay.
said, I hated it.
Okay.
Hated it.
I also
Hated it.
I don't make a habit of hate watching things. If I hate things, I don't watch them. Um, but I do hate watch this show. I don't like these people. I, Not all of them,
Sure.
but I'm more interested to see where some of these people are going to land than I am really interested in the people of it all. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't, they're not great. Let's
They're
talk
just
about it.
annoying.
They are annoying, but annoying on different levels. So let's get into it.
Yes. Yes.
Let's start
With
with,
whom would you like to start?
well, let's get LaToya and Anthony out of the way first, because I feel like even though he is like men's movement and all of this nonsense he has going on, I think he is the least problematic of the husbands.
Anthony?
Anthony,
Girl, if he is the least problematic, I mean, I guess.
I mm,
Well, okay, I see where you're
we can get
cooking,
into it,
right?
y'all.
I see where you cooking, but he was the most bitch assness to me last season.
Okay.
This season, it's seeming like he might be the most logical one. He is not coming across as emotional as he did in previous seasons.
Yeah.
So I
He
am
definitely
open to
runs
see what
hot.
his transition is.
Yeah, he runs hot, but I also feel like he is the most hmm, equally partnered with his wife in terms of like their power dynamics and their relationship dynamics because he talks a good game, but at the end of the day, I always felt like with with LaToya and within their marriage, I always felt like her voice was equally heard, counter to the other couples. It felt to me like
Is it?
I think
I
so. Yeah,
mean,
I think so.
okay.
Because even when the whole situation of him moving to Atlanta to pursue his whatever, um she was like, you need to come back home. And he was resentful about it, but he took himself back home. Um, I feel like even when they were talking about him going to see what's her face? Christina, LaToya was kind of like, why?
That's not our business.
That's not our business.
Don't
And
involve yourself,
yeah, and
which I was with her.
I feel like if she had a stuck with that and was like absolutely not, he would not have gone. I think she when
Maybe this season.
once she was like, listen, I'm not going to stop you because that's your people too, but I don't see the purpose in this. He was like, all right, I'm gonna try. But at the end of the day, when she was like, no, he looked like he was about to back down and be like, all right, my wife said no. I ain't doing it.
He does not give me that. And maybe and you know what? Again, I'm basing my judgments off of last season and how
Okay.
he interacted with her and the cast last season. He was very boisterous, very like very catty, chatty. He gave me too much. And so the character that he was last season, I did not like. Who he's coming across as in these first 5 episodes, I'm okay with. It's
Okay.
not
And
I'm on the fence.
to be clear, I don't like him either. And I still think he is too boisterous and I think he is a lot and he is very rah-rah and he does not sit well with me, but I'm talking about specifically in his relationship dynamic. I think that dynamic is very much the healthiest of the bunch.
Yeah, I can give you that.
And he seems
I'm
to
with you when you're right
truly
because
have
against
his wife's back.
Yes, and against the other two couples, baby, it's not. They are winning in that race for like partners.
Yeah,
Because the
for
other two are
sure.
definitely they're not giving partners.
No, not at all. They are not. Let's see, what else? All right, then let's move on
Uh
to where you want to go next.
I'm,
Sorry.
but I was about to say you may as well hit problematic number one. At least they got some sort of a system. The preacher and Kobe. What's the preacher's name?
They problematic number, they numero uno for me. They at the top of the problematic list for me.
He is. Kobe is not really. She to me. I like Kobe. She probably is the only one that I've liked of
Oh,
this
I agree.
cast.
I like her. Their relationship dynamics are very troubling to me. Very, very troubling to me because he he seems like he gaslights her a lot. And I'm not
He
saying
does,
like
and
he
she
will
said
act
that.
he will act like he's listening to her, but at the end of the day, he's going to do what he wants to do. And the reason why I think their dynamic is the most troubling is because she doesn't have any support. Her parents are preacher. Her dad is a preacher, and from last season, it seems like he had some fidelity issues with his mom or with Kolby's mom. And Kolby's mom is very much like, well, he's the man of the house. And if the talking about Russell, if Russell hears from God, then it's your job as his wife to go along with what he has to say. Even if God doesn't say it to
Child.
you, then it's your job as his wife to support where he is going next. So even like with the whole baby reveal, gender reveal, where she was like, she does not want to have a rack of kids. And Russell is very much like, no, we're having more kids. Like, I'm cool with this girl,
Yes,
but we're gonna keep trying till I'm satisfied or until I get a boy. And it's like,
which is insane to me.
I mean, people do it all the time. I don't make a judgment on that. I only make a judgment on the fact that she clearly doesn't want to have more kids. Like she
No,
does not want to
insane
be
to me,
pregnant.
not because of keep going until we have said child. Insane to me that you are basically enacting your will over your wife's body. That's insane
Absolutely.
to me.
Absolutely. And I feel
Considering the climate that we're in
absolutely.
politically.
Absolutely. So to me, their issue is just more troubling because I actually do like Kobe, but I think it concerns me that her parents are not clearly team Kobe. They are team
Yeah,
man of the house, the spirit of the Lord governs
right.
this house, whether the spirit of the Lord spoke to you or not. So that means Russell is running around doing whatever he so well please, so long as he says the
Hello?
spirit of the Lord told him to do so first. The spirit of the Lord didn't tell you to not talk to your wife. Spirit of the Lord didn't tell you to do that.
And make
That I'm
decisions
sure
for
of.
her.
That I'm sure of.
And the thing that really frustrated me is I don't know if it was episode 3 or episode 4 where she's gone to the gym to meet him with the baby
Hmm.
and she's trying to express to him her feelings, which this is a pattern that he did this to her last season. She's expressing to him her feelings about not wanting to carry another child and how so much of the rearing of these children falls on her and has a lot of pressure and there's things that she wants to do and she's not going to be able to because everything is put onto her.
Hmm.
And he's like, well, I have to carry the house and I have to do the bills and I have to do this and I have to do that. And it's like, but you get to go outside of the house to do all this stuff that you have to do. You get to enjoy your life and then come back and enjoy your kids when you feel like it. So,
Yep.
like, what are you talking about? It's not the same type of work. She's still working her creative job, to my knowledge. She's still an influencer
Hmm.
and still having to do all of that, plus take care of two babies, even though one is not here yet. And that's a lot on her body.
Yeah. And that's basically what she says. Like, it's a lot on my body and I don't desire to be pregnant again. So it's like, well, he's just kind of like, whatever. And he's going to do what he wants to do, even to
Very
the point of
dismissive.
her saying, like, he trapped her this time. Like, she wasn't quite ready yet. And he was just like, what,
Hmm.
whatever, you know? So I don't know. They
I
troubled
mean,
Kobe. I'm troubled for Kobe. The rest of these people can go to hell in this situation because I just don't feel like she has strong family members who are going to be there should something happen or should something should she need support in in a meaningful way to be able to like have a word with Russell. You know what I mean? Like some people can go to their dad and be
Yeah.
like, "Hey, can you talk to this man because he's da 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 da?" And you're clear that their dad is team the dad is team Kolby. The dad is not team Kolby. The dad is team Russell and team Russell
Mm-hmm.
doing whatever he wants. And that bothers me for her. Everybody needs somebody in their
Mm-hmm.
corner, and I'm not convinced that she has someone authoritative in her corner.
My thing is like, as basically it what we're watching play out on camera is like what I would imagine our grandparents went through,
Yeah.
even skipping her parents' generation, like it's just trickled down. And so her mom is basically saying that this is the way that it's always been, and this is the type of wife that you need to be, as though there is no other um way of existing in a marriage.
I think
And it's unfortunate that she doesn't get, to your point, the support that she needs.
yeah. And it's not, I would argue that it's also not just generational because I feel like some of our grandmothers came out of this stuff and then were like, girl, don't do
We ain't
that.
doing this.
Girl, don't. Um,
Don't do that
even,
again.
even my grandma's like, girl, you don't let no grass grow under your feet. Like you be gone, you be moving. You know what I mean? So she has a different perspective about how maybe how she did things, but she respects how I do things. But I feel like with Kolby, there's that overarch of the church,
Yeah.
and that's the problem, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
That's the big issue. And
Mm-hmm.
if we're done talking about them, let's move on to Brandon and
Yeah.
Kristina because that also has a church element to it that I thought was really interesting. So
But
apparent
do they? Because he is not wrapped up in the church like Christina is.
well, he sort of revealed that basically it seemed to me from what he said like she was very churchy when they met and he was probably kind of in the church, maybe not. I'm not sure how much he was in the church, but he was in the church, right? But she was very
Mm-hmm.
churchy, very very churchy to the point of abstinence, no sex before marriage, and that is why they got married so fast because he told his mom was like, yeah, I was ready. I was ready. I won't use his language, but he was ready to consummate the relationship. And so they got married because that was the only way that she was going to do so. And I think we're seeing the fruits of that.
Right now.
Yeah.
He married you not because he really loved you, but because he wanted to get physical.
Hmm.
And that's really unfortunate.
Yeah.
I wasn't paying attention when that part was revealed.
Hmm. So they are
Wow.
separated this season. I hope that they get divorced.
I mean, I'm with you. I'm gonna lose my voice here in a minute. All this coughing. Excuse me, y'all.
Um, so yeah, they're separated and she looks happy and she says she has peace in her home. And I love that
Yep.
for her. Uh, there was just so many things that he is just so problematic. He was looking at other women at their wedding. I was just like,
Childish. I don't think that he was, well, clearly we know as the viewers, he was not ready to be married. He is
no,
not ready to be a husband still to this day, nor is
no,
he ready to be a parent. But these are all of the things that he was dealt because of his choices. And
absolutely.
it's unfortunate that she, from the sounds of it, was also very naive in thinking that he was something that he wasn't.
Yeah. And listen, I don't know again how involved he was. Like lots of people go hard when they show up to church and they do it for a few years and then they back off and they calibrate or whatever. So I don't know. Maybe she
Hmm.
caught him when he first got there and then he was just like, "Ooh, this is a lot for me." So he seems to
Hmm.
have backed off significantly to the point of maybe even stopping. Um,
I also found it interesting that when Russell and Christina's husband met,
mhm,
he was very, very like emotional about the fact that they weren't, well, alleged emotion, because I don't know what I saw happening,
mm.
but it pretended to be, or portrayed to be, as though he was very emotional about them being separated. And I was like,
I don't think he's
you have all
emotional
this.
about it.
Yeah, yeah, but like based on how it played out, you have all this care and concern for the demise of people who you once looked up to, their relationship, but you have no care and concern for the for what your wife is telling you
Mhm.
could lead you to the same road
Oh,
that
you're talking about
they're
Russell.
on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
him and Christina. I don't. What's Christina's husband's name? I don't know.
Brandon.
Brandon. Yeah. So that I was just bringing it back to because we see all the couples and then we see the two men come together and have that like man talk where he tells him that he's no longer in the house and like remember they were in the gym and he was
Yeah,
like
yeah,
all
yeah. No,
emotional.
I know what you're talking about. I thought you were talking still about Brandon and you were talking about Russell. I did want to say a quick word about Brandon's mom because she had me dying. That lady was like, told Christina flat out, like, girl,
Get a divorce.
you need to find something to do. You need to get it together. The man has been supporting you all these years. It's time for you to find out how you can support yourself. And
Hmm.
basically she was saying it without saying it, but it's like Brandon is just like his daddy, and that's why I left him. Like this whole having another child in the house, like God bless those who have this mindset, but women who are like, my husband is a third, fourth
It's the third
child,
child. Yeah, no.
girl, what?
No,
Why?
thank you.
Why?
Not
You
a
know?
grown ass child. What?
So he's no, he's a grown man. Treat him as such. And so it seemed like his mama was just like, he here and he getting on my nerves. So I know how he is with you, and he just like his daddy. So, you know, and I left him. So
Mama has no patience for the foolery and not even for her child.
nope, nope.
And to be very honest, it does not seem like Brandon wants to be in this relationship. It seems like he wants to do and be perceived as doing the right thing.
I think that Brandon wants a wife. He doesn't want to be a husband.
Yeah. He wants a mother.
Hmm. Yeah,
He wants someone who's going to take care of him and everything else. And then he
absolutely.
can go out and live his life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Um, I will say this, when they get together, like all the couples get together, Kristina and Brandon actually give me Mel and Martell because remember before Mel and Martell actually divorced, when they were separated and
Right.
they were still like going together to group events, they were still like 10 toes down with each other and 10 toes down with wrong. And they're still hyping each other
Yes.
up. Brandon and Kristina are still hyping each other up to the 10th degree when it shouldn't even be all that. And it's like, y'all barely together. What you mean? Why so
Hello. Y'all
much?
barely even like each other. So why are we doing all this?
Why we doing all the rah-rah? Two quick words about the new couple. They seem pretty, I like them. They seem pretty regular. Being that
Oh,
event planner.
Bravo and his wife.
No, Bravo isn't new. Bravo is from last season, and I'm actually surprised he didn't end up becoming a full-time cast member. I suspect his wife probably didn't want to be a full-time cast member because Bravo was on a lot of episodes last season.
Yeah, but they're full time now because they're in the credits.
Are they?
Are they not?
I
I saw him in them in the credits.
okay,
I
maybe.
didn't see the other lady. She not in the credits,
Oh,
but
maybe I
she
wasn't
gives
paying.
me yeah, because I was like, oh, they're full time castmates this year. We
Okay.
haven't now the episodes that we've seen thus far. I have not seen them by themselves per se.
Yeah.
But again, I barely be watching it. It'd be watching me. I just wanted to make sure that I was up to par
Yeah.
so we could talk about it.
No, I think the other cast is full-time. I thought.
Well, I mean,
Marcel.
that's good. They need it if Bravo's wife don't really want to be on TV like that.
Yeah, Marcel and Kimberly are full-time, I believe, because we've seen like snippets of them doing stuff alone, like them trying to introduce them as full-time castmates. I believe those two are full-time. The Bravo, I don't think is.
Y'all let us know if you watching because
Yeah, drop
I
down in the
saw
comments.
just as much of the introduction of Bravo and his wife and their little side convos as I did of the other people.
Okay.
So I just assumed that the other lady and her husband were friends of. But either
No.
way, I don't care for her.
Yeah, I mean,
Mhm.
she's a lot. No, because they went to her. Remember, they went to her real estate. I mean, her real estate, her event planning office, and like all of her stuff. And then I don't know. I felt like they did like a more fulsome introduction than we've ever been introduced to
Okay.
Bravo's wife. I don't think
Yeah.
Bravo's wife wants
Yeah.
to be involved. So that's why I'm like, maybe they are. Maybe I missed them in the credits and I don't watch all the credits to be candid. But
Yeah.
it seems like she really wants this. And I it's interesting that they brought in a foe of Kristina. It's like I don't think Kristina need no more foes, to be honest with you.
I'm telling you. Like, why would y'all do that? Because she
What?
barely friends with Kolby. Her and Kolby was thick as
Barely.
thieves at the beginning, and now they barely
They not.
friends.
I did think it was
Oh,
interesting
well.
because the one lady was like, or what's her name? Sorry, Kimberly was kind of like, we fell out because you are a bad communicator and I thought we were good and we're not good. And Kolby was like, same.
Hmm.
So,
Sounds familiar.
sounds pretty familiar to me. So,
But I
anyways,
mean, it's just a character flaw. Christina is not good at communicating clearly and is not good at like dealing in conflict
no,
because you struggling to speak to your husband about what all is going on. Clearly, y'all have never had real conversations to solidify the foundation of y'all's relationship.
no,
So like and not to be super judgy, marriage is not easy by any stretch of the imagination. And I myself am not married, nor have I ever been, but having been privy to other people's relationships and seeing the shit that they have experienced either as elder and or as our, counterparts, our age group, and then watching these people, it don't look like this is a cakewalk by any stretch of the
no,
imagination.
not at all. So, yeah, I think that's it. Do you have any other last minute thoughts on Love and Marriage Detroit?
I'm gonna give them some more grace. Everybody's first season is not gonna be good. So
Yeah.
that's where I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna watch. I'm not watching. I'm just gonna watch and see. And if they lose me, they lose me. But I'm gonna try.
Well, friends, drop down in the comments. Let us know what you think so far about the this season of Love and Marriage Detroit. Did you watch last season? Tell us if you watched last season and like what you think how the progression of this show is. In the meantime, like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll catch you next time. Bye.
Bye, friends.